welcome back to my channel. My name is Casey and I am a homeschooling mom to 3 boys, and we are wrapping up our 4th year of homeschooling and getting ready to getting prepared for our 5th year. So in today's video I wanted to share with you what I do for a planner. There are gobs of planner options out there. I know there are moms who just use regular desk calendars. There are very comprehensive home and homeschool planners, customizable planners. There's lots of options out there, and all of them are really good. And it will just take a little time for you as a homeschooling mom, if you're new or just starting out, to find the planner and planning style that works for you. And I had to go on that journey myself, and over the last few years, it has come down to me making my own planners. So this is last year's planner. I'm going to turn the camera around and kind of flip through it with you. And then this is my take on it for this year. So without further ado, let's take a look. All right, I have a side-by-side comparison of my homemade planner from last year and what I turned that into this year. So let me let you peek in here. This was very basic. I have used several different planners in the 4 years that we have homeschooled, and they always have like more than I need or not the right amount of what I need. And so I use them, but I'm like, yeah, this wasn't worth the 25, 35, 45, whatever dollars for me personally, for what I used it for. So I'm like, why don't I just print my own, and I just have the printers bind it for me. So this is what I did. I just created a very simple table in, I used Microsoft Word is what I used. And I just have our subjects on the side, days of the week across the top, and then these squares where I can write down the lessons that we accomplished or the activities that we did, days, I just X out days that we didn't have school. For the most part last year we did 4-day school weeks, so you'll see some of these pages, most of them Mondays don't have anything going on. So yeah, this worked really well for me to have enough space. We just had, well, I did, we did schooling with all the kids, but the oldest was the only one that I really had to record things for. And so most of it is just his work, but some of these I did have both of the kids. So I would say this definitely had enough room for 2 kids the way that I did this. And depending on how detailed I would want to write, I think I could definitely use this layout for 3 kids, because I kind of stuck with the same thing for my planner for this year. So this was my weekly layouts, and I liked the vertical. That was fine too. I did try something different this year. So I did put in like a book log for this, because I thought, oh, I'll track all the books that the kids read, but we read so many books that it was like I didn't stick with it. So we didn't, I didn't use that very much last year. This was a verse for the kids, for me. And then, I guess I didn't have this open in the right spot. So that was my cover page. And then I had some notes. And then I have an hours log. Our state requires that we track our hours of teaching time, learning time. And so the easiest way for me to do that, I have found, is this kind of spreadsheet. So we start recording in July, and then I just tracked, I have our core subjects here, total core, and then our most commonly used non-core subjects that we did. And then I left a blank one in case I wanted to add anything different. And then I just accumulate my totals over here on the right side. And this worked so good for me in the past, tracking hours, trying to convert it from the planner to a spreadsheet on the computer and then like remembering to do it. I don't know, it didn't click for me, but this was awesome. And so that is how I tracked our hours. I did have some of these goal pages peppered in as well. And then, yeah, this worked out really, really well for us as Missouri homeschoolers. So that was my first planner attempt. And then it went into, and this is where I'll write my notes for the kids for Landon's end of the year evaluation. So how he did, what he needs to work on, so on and so forth. So yeah, that was the old planner. And now my new planner for this year. So I went with a horizontal layout, just something a little different. I don't think it will make that big of a deal for me. My goal pages, so I just have a little divider page. So quarterly goals, instead of doing monthly goals, I thought I'd switch my perspective to quarterly goals and then accomplishments or evaluation. So did we meet those goals that we set for ourselves? And there's 4 of those pages in here. And then if you've seen our interview videos that we did for the end of this year, we're also going to do them at the beginning and end of next year. So I have these pages made up with the questions. I'm going to ask the kids or have our oldest have them fill it in. I think it'll be fun to look back and see how it changes from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And then end of year evaluation. So this is a little more laid out than just a blank page. It's got to give them like a final grade. Our oldest is in middle school, and so I'm trying to train myself in some of those areas that are going to require a little more specified grade keeping in his high school years for transcripts. So this is kind of my practice round for that, if you will. And then unit plans. So our science and history subjects are actually broken up in units, which I guess in theory the language arts is too, but this is just a place for me to write down extra ideas, places that we want to go visit, activities, movies, or other kinds of resources that we want to build in to kind of add some extra things to those units for fun and family time together. And then any supplies that I'm going to need to pick up for those. And then, let's see, yep. So I have 8 of these pages, so 4 for each science and history. And then my lesson plan. So this is, I've kind of come to a place where I do more planning from behind than I do planning ahead, where we just write down what we did do as opposed to what I plan to do. It served me better instead of because things just change. The days are pretty fluid. We have the general expectation of what we're going to accomplish, but we do not operate off of a schedule or even a daily flow. I don't know, we just kind of roll with it. We know what we need to get done, and sometimes the kids are up and ready to go, and they're excited to get their lessons done, or we have places to be, so they know they need to get it done early. And then other days we have a very laid back approach to our day, and we enjoy lots of time snuggling through our lessons. It's just very fluid. So, but I did add an extra column here for our weekends because we do a lot of fun things on the weekend as a family that counts as the kids' education. We go to museums, we go on nature outings like to the creek and the rivers, and so we document a lot of that on our weekends. I also left this subject line blank because I'm not 100% sure if I am going to track our family subjects and then each of the children on their individual subjects, or if I'm going to just track all subjects and then write like an L for Landon, an R for River, and a B for Blaze in their individual lessons for those individual subjects. So I'm going to play with that a little bit as we get going in our new school year. And that, oh, and then the hours log. So I really didn't change anything with my hours log. I added music over here because that is something I would like to build back into our homeschool. And then I added a STEAM column over here because our oldest has become very much engaged with building and welding and forging and all kinds of just creative science, technology, mathematics, art, engineering, all of those things. They have just become really big of interest to him. And so I did add this column as well. Now you may be wondering, well, am I going to put all the kids on one sheet? So for this year, yes, I am. I only have to track our two oldest children because our middle son will be at the compulsory age for our state. And so what I plan to do is just put our oldest hours on the left side in the boxes, and then our middle son's in the right side. So maybe with like a backslash or something between them, or maybe a different colored ink. I don't know. I don't want to overcomplicate things for myself. But that is my plan, is to just go ahead and keep tracking everybody on one page. And then we'll see about next year if I do more than one page. So, and there's plenty of pages here for our months of homeschooling. So that, and then I found this cute graphic online. I don't know who to credit for it, but I just loved it. He made me into a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver, Isaiah 49:2. And this just speaks to me about what my husband and I are doing as parents, is that arrows don't start out as arrows. They start out as sticks, and with careful attention and love and time, they are carved and crafted into arrows. And then our aim is to shoot them out into the world for God's glory and to further his kingdom. So that was why I added that to the back there for this coming year, is just kind of my own inspiration, motivation, reminder for why we do what we do as homeschooling our children. So, there is my homemade planner for our upcoming school year. Leave me a comment below what you think, if this is something that you think would serve you well in your family. I think I'm going to add this to my Teachers Pay Teachers account, or make it a shareable file through Google Drive or something like that. So I would love to know what you think. Leave me a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.